So this raised garden bed was relatively easy to build. It was an absolute ton of work, but really easy to build. I used very common tools which most people would have. Hammers, nails, screws and drills, skill saws, table saws, and all those kind of easy things, tape measures and all that. So most people would have a lot of this at home. I drew it out on a piece of paper first, and just to kind of I'll give you a little tour, a little walk around and talk about what we did. Obviously, the key to this whole endeavor was this cobblestone, which my son and I bought a mold from Lowe's and some cement. We own a cement mixer, and we had the grand idea of making these. And let me tell you, they turned out absolutely wonderfully. It's a great little path here, and it's about 3.5, almost 4 feet across here. So lots of room. And the intention here was really just to keep the weeds down. And that worked out really well as make it, obviously more attractive. But I had no idea how much work it was going to be. Anyways, it turned out great. It took us probably an entire week to lay down the concrete, but it turned out absolutely fantastic. So I'll give you a little walk around here. I just finished, you can see there's just a little bit of soil that I need to put around the outside, and I'll seed that to make it great, to finish it all off. So here's a great perspective here. So there's 3 tiers to the bed. The back bed, which has the little climbing trellis there, lattice work rather, it's pretty easy. All this stuff was purchased at the Home Depot, so really easy to get. Some cedar pressure treated posts there with some pressure treated lattice work, which we kind of put in place. You can tell a lot of what we used here was just regular 2x6s and 2x8s. The only pressure treated material we used was right here. And my thinking there was I didn't want to, they say pressure treated is a lot safer now, and it probably is, but we just did it on the top. Simply just to, my wife didn't want to take a chance with it. So there it is there. Now there's 3 beds here, as you can see. The back bed, it consists of 2 2x8s, and you can see the 2x8s there on the top and the bottom, and then a 2x6. The second tier bed there is 2 2x8s, so real great there. And then the third bed, which is on the inside, is 2 2x6s. So that gives us a great little, tiered garden, which I think is really quite attractive. Of course, my wife has started to plant, and we've got all kinds of really wonderful things in here, and she's super excited. So let me give you a kind of an overall of this garden here. The dimensions on the back are, this is 20 feet across. So basically 2 sets of 2x8s by 10 feet long. It's about 4 feet wide. And this middle garden here is 12 footer. So it's 2x8 by 12 feet long. And the middle is 2x6 by 8 feet long, approximately. That was the plan. So here's the way it turned out. As you can see, what we really did was I took care to line the inside of the walls here with plastic, and I'll show you some of that. You can kind of see a little bit of it kind of peeking through there. So we lined the entire inside with plastic, which has turned out great because I expect to keep I hope to keep the longevity of this garden going for a long time, so I don't have to replace it. Of course, just moisture off of the walls, I think, is a really great idea. And then we put a cap on top, which was a little tricky, to be honest with you, and then some just details on the side. This is just 2x4 and 2x8s that are just cut to length and screwed on. They're really just for aesthetic looks, but you know what, that was my plan anyhow, but as I screwed them in, you know what, they simply just added bracing to the outside and made the entire structure a whole lot more sturdy. So really happy with the way that turned out. So I'll just take you around the back here. So it's about 20 feet across the back by about 16 feet across down the one side there. So pretty wonderful. It's huge actually, and it looked really good on paper, but when we started building this thing, it started to take up a lot of material and a lot of time. My investment here as far as material goes is just over about $1,000. That's a little more than we had budgeted, but once you start a project like this, you just kind of keep going. and it turned out even better than I had hoped. One of the intentions with the cobblestones here is the main reason I did the cobblestone all the way around was obviously it looks good, but the main reason was as a mow strip. I hate weed whacking, and I've done gardens beds like this before, and when you just plunk them down on the grass, inevitably they look great for a couple weeks and then you need to weed whack them, and it's an ongoing thing throughout the summer. And so my thinking there was, if I just put the effort and the time in now and put the beds on some type of concrete or stone pad, as I did. Now you could certainly use we chose to make our own pads, but you could certainly get something at one of the hardware stores. Lots of stones there. You could even use those walking pads that you can get for a couple bucks, $6 or so. Anyway, the idea there was to just have a mow strip, and as you can see, we can easily take a lawnmower right close here over top of the stones, and I will never ever have to weed whack, or at least that's my intention. We'll see how it works out. So that's just a little tour. I think this is something that a lot of people could easily make. It turned out really, really great. Again, the dimensions across the back are 20 feet, 16 feet here along the side. That includes a 12-foot bed plus a 4-foot width of the back bed. So real simple that way. And then the middle bed is a 4 by 8 foot bed with almost a little shy of 4 feet in walking paths around. So anyhow, strongly recommend anybody building a raised garden. It's really a kind of a neat way to do things. It's tidy, it's clean, and it's you know what, after the work is done, we will not have to till a garden anymore, and all of that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of work up front, but strongly recommend it, because I think this is going to make our lives a whole lot easier and more accessible to vegetables in years to come. So really think it's great. Thanks for joining. Please subscribe, and I've got lots of projects that we've been working on, and I'll get them up. And anyhow, raised garden beds, please do one. It's a great way to garden.